This is just a general collective reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because if there's stresses, it's always within inside of yourself. You're just deveiling certain emotions, feelings, thoughts. And then you have to look at that 7 planets within yourself. Because that's you. That's growing with that divine oneness. Take this all as it resonates. Just going to clear the air on 1, 2, 3. Alright, this is just a collective energy reading, so please only take what resonates. If it's for you, it could be for your boo, it could be for your brethren too. It's just a message, and it all lays within inside of you. It's about your mind, your thoughts, and your feelings. What's happening towards you. You could be having to protect yourself from certain people. You could be listening. You got protection from your spirit guides, your guardian angels, your ancestors. You may need to even drop that shield because of the way you were speaking. That perception, because that's that 4 of swords. It's taking a break. Sometimes you have to relax your mind. You have to give yourself that compassion, caring, nurture, love. That's you giving yourself that generosity, forgiving those who trespass against you. That's you have to look at that self-reflection. That's when you have to get steadfast, organized, look at your foundations, do that routine check, because it's a root that needs to get checked because of those illusions. And that's when you're in that moon. Could be a Cancer energy. This could be a mother figure, father figure, auntie, take it all as it resonates. You could be taking a break from them. They could be admiring you. And you have to know, when I accept the love of the universe around you, surrounding that oneness within you, as your primary teacher, you will always be that guided back to that light, that spiritual light, that divine light. You may need to cleanse your energy. You may need some Roman calamine. And that's to be able to protect, and that's that calmness of the mind, calmness of those thoughts, calmness of those feelings. And that's when you get to the root of those family, friends, the choices, the way you learn, the way you communicate, your educational skills. That's when, like Gemini energy, and that's when you're in Jupiter, Mercury, and you're looking, because that's that world around you, and it's them seeds that you're planting, your educational, electric. Even when you're in your house, those messages, it's coming directly. It's channeling knowledge, and it's how you're communicating through these networks such as this, social media. So those behind the screen, in front of the screen, you hear the message, you get the word, you only choose to hear what you want to hear, you speak the words that you want to speak, whether it's truth or lies. You have to connect, because certain times it comes with a divine intervention when people are lying, and you're in certain company, places, jobs, workplaces, and people are not enabling you to have that balance of mind. That's you connecting to that self. 999, higher wisdom, philosophical knowledge. You're transcending through space and time. You're moving, because that's you looking at the Sagittarius. It's higher mind. That's you foreign traveling, people. You're looking at cultures. You got high education. You're expanding on that righteous plane for yourself. Oh, 2 minutes. So we're just going to take a card. See what you're manifesting, creating, because you're connecting, balancing with love, getting in that introspection. You maybe have to put a pause to certain people. That's when you have to focus on what you can and do not what you can't. Some people are not focusing on what they can't. They're doing one of the things what they can't do and not focusing what they can do. They're just blocking their mind because of those thoughts, the perception of what you're putting out there. It's those dreams, big, work hard, stay focused. They could be lacking focus. You could lack focus right now. You could be feeling lost in your mind, conflicted about choices that you're making, because it's that ego. That's when you're not eager to learn. You have to transform your mind and be eager to learn, stay steadfast. That's when you're taking that action about the things that's in the unknown. Get higher introspection. That's you being creative, because that's that magical presence that you hold within the world, with around you, when you're planting seeds, and what seeds you're planting, because that's the way how you're leading yourself. You could be stopped overthinking. You're looking at the things that's blooming. You may even have to detach from certain things and just stand alone in your true divine presence, like your sacred flower, just standing with love, compassion, because that's when you're looking, because your past might be ugly, but I'm still gorgeous. So you have to know your past might be ugly, but the spirit within inside of you, it's still gorgeous. That's when you have to learn and live and connect to that universe. That's that oneness. Continues having compassion, continues to keep learning, continuously keep growing, because I witness darkness and call on the light. My prayer, that's when you connect into that divine, that oneness, that godly spirit within inside of you. You don't need to go to church, because you are that house of God. When you start looking and gaining religious, well, if you're that religious man, you know, you'll be running to church. But when you're looking at philosophical, different religious backgrounds from different understandings, you're able to be able to grow. You're looking at, you could be going court, have judicial systems, so you're looking at from higher minds, people who's taken advantage over you. You could be publishing. You could be going to college, graduating from uni, and that's you standing in your house of God, because where you're learning that spirit within inside of you, you're thanking that universe for guiding you to have that perspective, because this fear through the eyes of the teacher of love. So you started putting yourself with love. You focused on love, compassion towards yourself. You've seen those obstacles. You went towards your dreams. You stay steadfast, organized. You got hard working skills, because you create mindful moments, and that's throughout the day. That's reminding yourself, I'm love, I'm joy, and they're the miracles. It was natural, steadfast, hard-working. You enabled yourself to go towards those new beginnings. You took that leap of faith, stood with your true, authentic self, because you light your light for yourself, because there is a stream of love, and it's supporting your dreams. That's that magical presence. That's enabling you to grow, to get out of your mind. 3, keep going forward, keep learning, looking at those family members and friends that you put around in your circle, the jobs. You have to create yourself, because you choose to be able to learn through love, and that's compassion. Even when your past might be ugly, you have to know that you're still gorgeous. Stand within your truth. Please just tap the screen, because I work with numbers. I work with astrology, numerology, sociology, psychology. So everybody get into the ologies, so you can move through these life path journeys and enable yourself to grow. Stay steadfast, get your firm foundations firm, have love and compassion for oneself, or you will be in that 4 of swords, questioning, having to protect yourself from certain people who's trying to block you, family members, friends, divine feminines, masculines, that's who's trying to dominate over you. You got that strength. Who's trying to block you and focusing on your aspects of your life, these things, what you're going to see in secret, people, occultists, Scorpios, it was idolizing you because you're moving forward. And you know, love is the answer. Love is the teacher when certain people are spiritually blocked, mentally and emotionally. Cultists holding on to you. Worldly possessions. You can see about these secrets, and it was like that power of abundance that you're holding. You're looking and you're attracting your wealth. You're moving forward, taking that action because you're taking care of your growth. That's you linking those. You got discipline, you're steadfast, you're organized. You have to protect yourself from love. Somebody could be coming towards you, gaining strength, gaining confidence. They could be idolizing you, watching you. They could be blocking your relationship. That was a dream of. They thought you was naive. They was trying to dominate over you. They was idolizing you, watching you. Somebody could be idolizing you, focusing on what you do and what you can't. That's when they're focusing on what you do. You got standing your strength, you're creative, you're enabling yourself to grow, you're taking that action to go to success. People were trying to dominate on you, and that was for a great reward. They thought they was going to get that great reward. You've got this leadership skills, you're achieving your high status, you're looking at those cycles, and that's that cause and effect. You have to look at these challenges when people are trying to block you for your relationships, love. Because there's a stream of love and it's strong supporting you. It's 6 of Wands, because when you're going towards that success, you're steadfast, organized. This could be this Page of Swords. They could see you're curious, you're witty, communicating. They maybe want to be able to come and communicate towards you because they're choosing to learn now through love. So they're speaking. They could be listening to that spirit inside of them now, ready to take this action, trying to find those words to speak and say, trying to get creative to be able to come towards you. Take this all as it resonates, because I do have questions. Will you marry me? So they do have questions. They're coming towards you now because they're idolizing you. They could see you as that charming one. They could see that now, that wisdom, that mindfulness. They want to be able to express this because it's that higher truth to come to speak towards you about love. Choices. I choose you. So that's their question. You could be looking now because they could be writing this in a magazine. This could be getting published. They could be coming to speak these words towards you in front of people. social awareness. They maybe want to take that vow and ask you, will you marry me? Let's take that next step to go towards that success. You could be seeing, I understand you didn't tell your mum you're pregnant. So you could be getting pregnant. They haven't told their mum they could be pregnant. Courageous, those being confident, those lying. They could be lying about a pregnancy. Take this all as it resonates, guys. You could see certain people might be pregnant, not told their mum that they are pregnant, and they're regenerating that cycle, that cause and effect. You could see challenges and tests, hard work. I just need the meds to take. The people are on medication, so they can say, I just need the medication, the drink to take that off that edge, so they can lie. And certain people are lying. You're going to gain higher clarity. Some people are lying about a pregnancy. They haven't spoke these words because of the choices, the mindset, the service that they was providing. That could be a mother figure who, Queen of Cups, not so nurturing. They anxious now. They're critically thinking, so they're drinking because people have been lying psychologically with their mind. Can't miss being silly. So they can't miss being silly. They're looking now because they're in that childlike spirit. They're anxiously, critically thinking. They're in that Mercury because, you know, when you're looking at them seeds that you plant, and they're looking like the things that they put, and it's nervous, their nervous system, their body, having anxiety, stress is licking them now. It's that mental intellect, really. Welcome to the family, brother. So somebody could be saying, welcome to the family, brother. This page, welcome to the family. In that community, you're going to hear about this. You could be protected. Certain people are wanting to stop that and block that. There's 8 of you in here. Either 8 of you are idolizing and watching. 8 of you are ready to take action to move towards some success. 8 of you are ready to dominate over some resources. 8 of you are lacking stability and compassion in your mind. Please tap the screen, because I work with numbers. So I'm going to let you know, Scorpio, your Pluto, 8 of you need transformation. 7, run back down, because you need to get connected to your mind, that higher clarity. That's when you're looking at those moons, Mercury, confusion in your mind. That's when you haven't got this discernment about certain choices, family members and friends, and you're having these relationships. Take knowledge, take heed, 3-5, because they're lacking compassion, understanding to overstand that they're full of shit, that those idolizing. Remember, you have to protect yourself from certain people. Why? Because the way they communicate. Why? Because they're not caring. Why? Because they're trying to take leadership and control your mind, your aspects, so you're not able to grow. Why? Because they're in that devil energy and they don't want to transform. Idolizing, controlling you. Because remember, it's getting written out. What's in the word, you know? It's all written there, because the Most High take charge, and that's when you have to have that authority, thank you, with inside of your mind, your thoughts and your feelings, because it's about your aspirations. When you're moving towards your success, you have to let people know, stand in your power, because that's when you're going to that next stage, your higher learning, taking that access. People are trying to dominate over you, but remember, you've got your rod and your staff to comfort you. That's that spiritual knowledge, that's that spiritual wisdom. Remember your crown. That's why you put that hat on that head. Be discerning to certain spirits when they're coming around you, because they don't realize that you're consciously awoke. When you've got them 2 archangels there at the side of you, you got your arc. Remember Noah told you to build the ark 2 by 2. That's your conscious and your subconscious mind. Your rod and your staff, that's your protection. You see that Ankh cross, the woman's womb. Your womb. So you know when you're creative, that's you growing and moving, manifesting, compassion, standing in your strength and your power, that oneness with the divine. People didn't like the fact that you've got this strength. Certain people's trying to block your masculine, feminine, extra energies, holding on. That was due to the fact of idolizing you, watching, resources, obsessions, 7 deadly sins, lust, greed. That was governing through Mars when they're taking action, courageous, extra energies, controlling, ego, pride. You got this aggressive energy. And you're trying to confuse people's minds because you're being impulsive. You're not being creative nor compassionate towards other people's feelings, needs, wants, likes. All for yourself. Why? Because they didn't be able to release those old, and you have to rest. Because when you leave it for the rest, you know you don't bother stress. You give it to the Most High God who dwells within inside of you. When people are trying to dominate over you, big adults out here in these streets, idolizing you, watching you, not knowing that the heartache, hurt and pain and the trials and tribulations that you've had to go through, how you're still standing. when they've got great admiration for you. Just say, you know what, I really respect you. You know, I see the hard work that you're doing with yourself. Well done. But they want to be taking your relationship because they lack compassion. And they're moving like children. When you see these pages, they're moving like a kid. They're not using that adult mind, growing. They lack compassion. They don't have respect, morals, dignity. That's when you have to look back at yourself and like, no man, I did wrong. Yeah, you did wrong. Why was you trying to dominate over people? Because I just need meds, because I needed medication. Right? So when you need that medication, you don't take care of your needs. Spiritual needs, emotional needs, mental needs, psychological needs. That's when you get oneness within yourself, because it gives you that neuro part of your problems. That neuro is your neurological, it's your mind, it's your brain, it's that nervous system. So when you're communicating and you can't, sometimes you hear me on these readings, I can't even get the words out my backside mind, like I'm stuck and people want to block you so you can't tell about chat the business. Tell the truth and shame these devils, because when they're trying to come like this wolf in sheep's clothing towards you, pages, aggressive, coming like the big bad and bullshit, this time inside the timid and lacking strength, and they just, all they want to do is drink themselves away. And like they don't care, because it's all about them, it's all about me. When you have to take care of your needs, you're caring, compassionate, you're enabling, supporting people to grow. 8-8, get out of that idealistic mind, transform. Tower moments are happening out here in these streets. Be the fool, take the leap, go on honey, transform, change. Listen to that spirit within inside of you. That's when you have to look at your chakras. When you start looking at your chakras and you get to that top one, that 7th chakra, that's when your crown chakra is open and you see those illusions, confusions. When people were spiritually, mentally and emotionally blocking you to stop you so you wasn't having that discernment. That's your 3rd eye activated. That's when the Indians, they got the bindi on their head. Why? Because they got clarity, they're discerning when they're walking on the street. Why don't you think people wrap themselves up? Why do you think all these religions have got certain aspects? Take every little aspect from each religion and see how far you're going to grow in life, guys. 6 of Wands, stand in your power, get balance, get structures. That's your mind. That's when you're thinking, when you want to move and you're making a choice and what choices and who you're working with. And when you're serving, even the Judgement 6, G mental stuff, mind, capacity, when you got to go doctors, you got to find out information so you can grow, so you balance when you're with certain communities. Who's enabling you, because that's the lovers and the choices, and it sends back. It gives you emotional factors that block you and make your mind heart hurt. Because you start critically thinking, and it's your quick mental capacity of your mind. It's that bridge. It's that check, because you have to unleash. And that's that wildness within inside of you, when you have to let people know, don't F with the truck, because I've got power within inside of me. And that's when it said there's power in the name of the Most High. You see those illusions, you gain wisdom. So you're seeing that unleashing. You have to unleash that strength, that power, that victory, that all-knowing, that oneness. You speaking, standing in that Virgo energy. Because when certain people are trying to be courageous towards you and act like certain fools, you have to go towards those new beginnings. You have to stand in your power, gain that strength. You see when people's trying to dominate over your resources, finances, assets, loans, your girl, your man, even your mom trying to control you, your dad telling you can't do this, you can't do that. When you want to go out socializing, you can't do socializing. You're not enabled to. They want to dominate because of assets, secrets, because of lying, cheating, sleeping, friends that are in your community, all got social awareness of this. Even seeing you growing, don't like to see you growing, don't even want to give you your flowers. Or because they're idolizing you, watching your aggressive energy, because they ain't got no heart. But you have to love yourself and let it be loved. So you love yourself and let it be loved. And when you start connecting your heart, you get witty. You just tell the truth and start shaming these devils, because you're taking that charge and authority, because trying to make my thoughts be reality. So these people try to dominate over your thoughts, dominate over your feelings. 8, that's the cultist. 8, that's when people are giving strength. 8, that's your strength within inside of you. 8, when people are idolizing you. 8, dominant over your resources. It says in the Bible, no one don't rule dominion over you. So why are these people trying to be courageous to rule dominion over you? Because they're idolizing you, watching your bad mind, because they don't want to transform, they don't want to change. And they don't want to regenerate. They thought they could have power and authority over you. Just like the Judgement, just like schools, just like authorities. Tell them to go and twist on a swivel and drivel. Leave me mate next time. So I know where I stand. So you have to know, leave me, don't try and dominate over me. Yeah, just listen, know better, do better. Have that oneness within inside of you, speak truth. Don't try to dominate over resources, because when they're transforming, leave me to let me transform, change, let me stand in my power, let me have my eye clarity, because I have to take care of my needs. So now these divine feminines and masculines, they may be wanting to run and leave because they're getting that higher clarity now, they're getting that higher awakening. Because she dumped you. That ugly girl broke your heart. So devastating. So that person dumped you. That ugly girl who was controlling, dominating over those resources. They could say you was ugly because you was dominating, you was standing within your power. And people didn't like the fact that you was brave. They couldn't control you. You wasn't able to take that action. You was able to regenerate while people was hating on you. They didn't see your hidden skills and your hidden talents. I came up with this plan for different reasons, but sometime, God, I get out this dating thing. So they came up with that plan to dominate. That's that occultist, idolizing, partying, socializing, take control, services, authority. That's about a house and property, foundations, take care of your needs, money, 2, material aspects. Unleash the wild within. Turn like a little bitch and switch. 5, stress and conflict. 7, the family choices, relationships. 4, home. Then you look and you see that karmic cycle when you wasn't spiritually connecting, and you get to that fundamental aspect of your art. It's emotional factors. These divine feminines and masculines, they are realizing they picked and picked till they picked shit. Now they can see they was dominating over them. Spell work. Serious mental healing. They had schizophrenia, so they were schitzing out. Stress, moving like that wolf in sheep's clothing. Bipolar disorder. Major, deep depression. Stress, conflict in their mind. You will see me a lot more by filling the seat. Getting well, education on mental illness. Yes, guys, you'll see me a lot more. We're trying to fill these seats on why we get mental-wise education. Mental aspects of our mind, because it stems through family, friends. It's healing, it's revealing. It's like childhood trauma. That's when you're lacking and you're holding on to a lot of heartache. It's chronic stress. 5, mental capacities when you don't want to grow. It's a part of that evolution. You have to look back to the mystical parts of your story, because when you encourage you to pursue that growth, it's that abundance. And if you don't, you're going to go back down, and then when you feel this pain, it's heartache, it's pain, because that's that endurance and the things that you've had to go through, and you start having to go court because you have to start telling that truth, and you may need to find justice in these things, and you haven't let it go because you haven't spoke about it, and you may need to be able to have that compassion for yourself to go deep, because it's a root and it's rooted, it's that bridge. It's that soul part, the illusions to confusions, when it's that fundamental part, deep emotional aspects, private parts of your life. It's rooted. That's why people try to dominate over you, because they don't even dominate over themselves. Look, it's rooted. That's because they have illusions. And then you've got these illusions, all because of the way you got learned. Occultists, you grow up, ancestral, inheritance. That's what you inherited, sin. To lie, out socialising, partying, to be that fool, not be able to grow up. That's when you're looking back, because you lack compassion. That's the Mercury, that's the mental part of your mind. You have to look at that journey. And you have to look it through siblings and who was giving, who provided that knowledge to you. Because leave me, because you have to mature. You're going to want to text you because they want to say they love you, where they know who you are. They're seeing that root. Look, the root. Their root chakra was blocked. You know, you got this black root chakra because you're having extra energies and you're not looking at Saturn, it's returning. So you have to look at those structures, because when you're in that Saturn, you have to see didn't have discipline. There was idolizing, running, extra energies, ego, pride. You have to release that. Spiritually, mentally blocked. You inherited sin. That's when the Bible, it tells you inherit sin. Everybody does. Do you grow? Are you going to make that change for yourself? Or you're going to try and dominate over people's resources? And are you going to use that religion to be able to use it as a cultist to block you, so you're not focusing and you can't focus, and you're blocking people's mental capacities? All for assets. All for control. They're going on like these, got these hidden talents, psychological aspects of your mind. Judgement do it. Schools. So why don't you think your family members and their friends are going to do it to control over you? Why give you those eclipses, illusions, confusions? When you have to have your own eclipse, because when you have that lunar eclipse and you switch like a bitch on them and they know about it, because I came with this, it was a plan, you know. They planned it all for a reason, to dominate. Like the mysteries, but they didn't understand the mystery. They were spiritually blocked. 5 years in there, there was a cultist institutionalized in their mind. That's when you're stuck in religion and you didn't know better to do better. That's when you look and you got the ancestors, you just listen back to it, learnt behavior. Their mum, their auntie, their family members, their friends, all bitter bitches, all stopped, all full of stress, all full of anxiety, didn't know how to grow, all because of the balance in their mind, all because of the way how they think, intellect. 7, didn't grow with that spiritual knowledge, all had confusion. They didn't get that divinely guided message. They didn't have that interconnection to the divine. They didn't move with love. Unlock ancient secrets. They wasn't able to unlock the ancient secrets because they wasn't taking care of the needs. They was moving like a child, all in their emotions. They didn't connect to those emotions. Have compassion. They was all aggressive. They didn't look at the things that was in unknown. They didn't see that grey area. They was just out using their, you know, when you use your body, but you're not using your brain. And you don't use your brain because you didn't connect those threads. Because of those, they wasn't using the intuitions. And they didn't realise, because when you wave those threads of your dreams, that's what thoughts, it shapes your reality. So they didn't move with love, they didn't move with joy. They was controlling, stubborn, trying to blindside people. They tried to put you in that wilderness so you didn't know thyself. Like Daniel in the lion's den, you had to gain that courage and that strength, have compassion. Are you going to be creative? Are you going to tame that lion within inside of you? Why do you want to dominate over other people? Why are you going to idolize over other people? Why are you being jealous? Can't you be able to generate and regenerate? Where's your hidden talents? What's your hidden skills? Are you going to try to be an occultist, or are you going to go further? Are you going to read astrology? You learn about reincarnation, UFOs and everything weird and strange. It's because you knew about everything weird and strange to be able to grow. You was able to use your intuitions, connect to the divine, see those illusions. You connect to the threads about these wolf in sheep's clothing, these divine feminines, masculines, taking control, dominant over resources. That's when you have to have that death and have that unalive. You have to transform, you have to change. You could see somebody's had a death and unalive, a child, family, friends in your community. That's when they have to have that changing and grow up and see that star, mind, herbs, nature, gifts, that's abundant. Utilize those herbs, heal, release that stress, connect to your heart, have compassion, because it's a divine intervention as to why these family members and friends be blocked from you, because they was not connecting to that root. They was unstable, unbalanced of mind, lack love, lack compassion, didn't speak truth, just want to carry the work in his name. So they wanted to carry certain work in that name. They wanted to have a legacy. They wanted to have like family, father, ancestral, some secrets about actions, attitude, the way how people control their self, family. They wanted to have a legacy in their name, home, assets. Take a vacation, seen a beach, jet skis. So you could be traveling, taking a vacation. People wanted to block you from traveling, taking a vacation. You could be traveling. 9, taking a vacation, traveling, choosing yourself. You may be standing up, being curious. You have to chat, gossiping around people, socializing. I've stolen a lot of things in my life, treasures, people, secrets, but now I'm going for the most precious thing of all, called Cupid's art. So now they come in with this love. They're coming, they may be blocked. They might not see the mysteries about when those out socializing. You might see and hide the things that people was dominating over certain resources. This distraction, this is a breaking of revelations, has now cost precious time. Secrets as R.I.P. my gaze away. So they ripped their gaze away. All because they was idolizing sexual energies, not thinking about the choices that they was making. They was trying to secure property, money, socializing, spending money in the community, illusions, and cause confusions because it was not spiritually, mentally connected. And they took their self away. And now they want to be able to see and savor it. Now they want to maybe want to come and save a relationship with you now, because I told you they want to be able to come back. Because today, I truly feel highly favoured. This one here, I never knew why they stayed. They did. I know, I deserve to live a life, no lies. and no judgment. So they're seeing those threads. They don't want to live a life of no lies and judgments. That's the occultist mindset. 5, that's when you've got these illusions, conflicts, inner childlike spirit acting for game face. When they've got that mask on, you have to deveil that mask, the illusions to the confusions, get connected. That's when you drop that ego, drop that pride, take that alter ego and stand in your true divine unique self, evolve. That's that fire sign. When you're being stubborn and controlling, you have to let go of that stubborn and controlling ways. You have to gain balance. You have to get that structures. That's because they lacked confidence. They used that charisma, that charm in a childlike spirit, sexual energies, giving it away to other people. That's because they didn't know how to be creative. That was their only way. I was hiding because that was the lie. That if I told the truth, see, there was hiding. See, I'm talking, I'm not even looking at this shit. That was the truth. And that was their part of their illusions, told them their mindset, confusions, illusions. And if I tell the truth, I will disappear. But I'm here. I'm trying to be able to look now. So they want to be able to make it a better day. They're transforming their mind. All because they're in that Mercury. That's that occultist. That's that 7 planets. And when you grow up, guys, and who provides this information, who's encouraging you, who's felicitating you, because that's your thoughts and how you're moving with those thoughts and how you're learning and how you're driven with this communication and information. It's that intellect. Even the Roman god is Mercury, and that's that flying symbol. It's that higher nature of your thoughts, the way you're communicating, who's dominating, telling lies, trying to control your mind. 8 is about your mind, that aspect. Are you going to transform? Are you going to change? Because you're connecting to those celestial energies, that body within you. Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Sun. That's looking. Sun is that Saturn day. What day is it today? Monday. Because it's moon. You're seeing these illusions. Moon, you'll be seeing these illusions. Tuesday, people will be governing their self with Mars ready, wanting to be act with love now. One thing sure about my fears have gone because you hear divine feminine. So you hear these divine feminines, masculines, because you're connected to them. That's when you're part of like twin. Where have you been? You hear that higher clarity. You can see, you're thinking, are they channeling these messages of love towards you? You can see they were spiritually, mentally, and emotionally blocked. They're having stress and conflict within their mind, all because of their illusions. When you find your person, you make it work. The way you feel the most, that's what you need to be able to do. So now they want to be able to find you. They're connected to their heart. They maybe want to rush, come back towards you because they're herbs. They're just manifesting, creating, connecting to the ground because it's that routine check. They're seeing it's deja vu. They put themselves in a situationship. Shocking. They're left on red. They could be feeling like an hopeless, romantic, watching you now because they're shocking. You're brand new. They maybe want to be able to come towards you, all brand new, because they're trying to balance out their thoughts, their emotions. Deja vu. They lack clarity. They was moving through confusions and uncertainty that was disrupting them. All of a sudden they're getting deja vu, looking back towards you after all the bullshit that they've gone through. Lied, cheated. Now that's that compassion. It's that heart. It's expanding. When you connect to those emotions, you have to look at the structures. So when you're in your home and you're sat all alone and you're thinking about your thoughts and your feelings, that gives you that message. It ricochets to the heart, and you have to look, and and that's the compassion, and that's that part. It stems deep. It's that routine check. That's that manifesting those bridges. It's that connection to the mind, and it triggers those thoughts. And then you have to look at your structures, and you're standing that masculine energy. What was you hiding? Do you see in those confusions? Did you see about those habits that you had? Was it about security? What was you trying to possess and what was you trying to create? Because now they're looking about that unconditional love and offering support. And it's that kind word without even expressing, because they could see you was caring, you was loyal, you had to be creative. Now they maybe want to be able to come and be creative and share a word towards you. Let's give it a little bit sentimental, because they're trying to find that position. Take focused action today. Align each step. Because they want to be able to come, enjoy the little things. So they could say, oh, I want to be able to come and enjoy the little things. It was just the little things. Now I'm connecting back. I see you were so caring, you was nurturing, the way you provided that support. And now I see you was that most part of my destiny. So they can see you as that destiny. It's that routine check now. 5, 1,200. Now they're connected to their heart. They're getting in that feminine energy. They're getting that bitch slap from the divine. That's when you're divinely guided. Have compassion. Move with love. Come and speak this truth towards you because they know there's boundaries in place. Now they need to be able to gain this balance because they can see they was being stubborn. One was in their ego and their pride and their aggression. That's because they're transforming now. They see you as a part of that destiny. Higher awakening. Because they had that self-doubt. And they'd be dimming their mind because Mercury, this is why I've been talking about Mercury and occultists and the meaning of these 7 planets. And you have to connect to yourself because that moon, they're in that illusion. And that's that top part of your mind, and it's covering that high aspects of yourself. It represents your mind in that emotional, institutionalized when you're blocked, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. You have to connect. Who's influencing who? Who's dominating over who? Who's feeding you with bullshit? Family, friends, partners, choices that you make, working, communities. You have to have that allowance. Release the need for control. Trust what is meant for you is already on its way. 999, that calling, the Most High God's calling. Connect to the spirit, that oneness. 1818, get rid of those illusions and confusions. Transform, change, get into that Jupiter energy. Listen to that wisdom. Move towards that fruitions because you are. Fulfill your purpose. Seek soul's purpose and fulfill it. Your destiny. Allow your action. So you're allowing your action because I act and I empower and you grow. So you're acting and you're empowering and you're growing and you're enabling people to act and empower and grow. And those who've got ears to hear will hear, and those who've got the spirit will flip and move within their self and be divinely guided. Get that 99 call. 1414, the spirit, the ancestors are speaking to you, telling you it's routine check. Get that root that needs to get checked. Sometimes you've got to go back to the beginning. And in the beginning was the word Genesis, Isis, genius. Connect to it. They knew me by the name of not who? Jehovah. 14, 5, 10, completion, renewals. You're moving. Healing is taking place in your life. Allow it to bring that positive transformation. 555, embrace that change is a must. It's that routine check. 35, let go. Listen to about them family members and friends that chat shit. Be discerning. Who's trying to control you? Stop running after golden calves. The things that you can see, not always the good things. Listen to the spirit within you because that's about self. Listen to that spirit within you. Self-love, self-care. By the time you follow back at people, you turn backside forward. Remember that. Look how fast they gonna wanna be back and kissing your ass, right? So by the time you follow back at people, you're a leader. You're not a sheep. You're the shepherd. You're the coach. Yeah, you're teaching and beating these lot along the way. This is what you're here for. You're like the Most High. Yeah, they'll cuss you. Yeah, they'll talk about you. They'll lie you. Yeah, they'll make you feel like you're confused. But they're blood clot marrying you. Need a business card. Date me, marry someone else. So they needed a business card. They did dating, marrying. You could be dating, marrying. Somebody else needs you. Nope, I'm never getting married. Okay. So you could be telling them, no, I'm not getting married. Okay, that could be shocking to them. And people want to come with this compassion. You're leaving them blank. £40 for 2 minutes of the time. So they was our sexual energies as well. They could have been around low dense energy bitch controlling them. Sexual energy, succubus spirit, Jezebel spirit. 8. You tell him not going. You brought a car. It's your rules. So some people want to be traveling and saying they're going places. They're telling them they're not going places. You brought the car. It's your rules. People trying to dominate over your resources, your assets. Yes, I'm desperate. I'll take your advice. So they was desperate. They was taking advice from other people about love in their community. Not balanced advice. Yeah, they weren't being practical. They wasn't realistic. He ain't going by himself. Granddad's going. So they could have been saying they're going with the granddad. 1-4, they're not going somewhere on their own. That 4 is the ancestor. Granddad's going, embracing, taking them to that fulfillment. 10, structures. 10, that's the ending of that cycles, changing, traveling. Take it all as it resonates. We'll take one more. She's a smart, independent lady. So you're a smart, independent lady, standing, empress, high priestess, using your intuitions, caring, creative, passionate, standing within your power. Black chicks don't do therapists. Talk to a friend. So some black people don't do therapists. You prefer to talk to a friend, maybe seek a bit of knowledge, wisdom, maybe your spiritual friend, your ancestral friends, because they're giving you that guidance, that wisdom, and letting you know, get out of your mind because your nervous system, certain people are blocking you. What was it there on that path for? What purpose are they serving within your life? Are they enabling you to grow, or are they slowing you? Are they causing these illusions? Are they trying to block you because they're causing stress and conflict and instability? Or are they enabling you to grow? Are you controlling your mind and your thoughts? Are they institutionalized within their mind? Are they trying to take leadership over your skills and your thoughts and your feelings? Because you have to let them know you're a devil energy. You need to switch on them because they're a bitch. So you switch like a bitch on them and let them know thyself. Think about the choices, be practical. Because they get you critically thinking. Now all of a sudden they're critically thinking. They can see how you was loyal, you was caring, you was charming. You had spiritual growth. They didn't have no manners, no respect, no dignity, no compassion. So how could they give you that manners and respect and dignity and compassion? Because it stemmed, they inherited sin. Father figure, mother figure, who supported them, who did they grow up with? Did they make those positive changes when they was institutionalized, when they was growing? Think about it. All of a sudden they're admiring you because they can see that past might be ugly, but you're still gorgeous. You chose to be able to learn through love. You've got that heart of guardian and you continuously having compassion. You're all brand new. You're just speaking and standing within your truth. You're letting that allowance because you're cultivating that gratitude attitude. You connect to the herbs, nature. They need cleansing. Now they're connecting because you see these telepathical spiritual messages that come towards you. And you see those illusions because of the confusions. Even everything that traps you in that mindset. And that's mistaking that fantasy for that true connection. They didn't have that clarity of choice. They wasn't critically thinking about the choices that they was making when they was having these choices with the lovers and who they was working alongside with. Because now they're seeing that union, they're getting that higher clarity. 18, they're transforming now, looking at their attitude and what was dominating, and now they're transforming the mind. Now they're looking back, gaining higher clarity in regards to who you are, and they can see you are that sun, and that's that union, that divine interconnection. And you get that spiritual box, the Most High slapped and giving that bitch slap. That's when you walk down the aisle. That's when they were spiritually blocked. They wasn't listening. Emotionally, mentally, they was detached from their own insecurities. They was around certain people embracing that change. They didn't want to embrace the change. They wasn't listening because that was that twin flame. Could have been a fake twin flame causing these confusions. They was around fake twin flame causing them illusions, thinking they was having unions with people from their past, holding on to them. 18 because of illusions. They went in that labyrinth. Round and round we go. Where we stop, you will never know. Have that power in you to have that love because it's that magnet. It draws you together. It's that seal, yin and yang, balance the blood clot thing. Sometimes you have to balance out the thing. Sometimes you have to cleanse your energies from certain people. It's not easy out here in these streets, guys, because of these illusions and the confusions, but you have to move with love. You trust your gut feelings. You see those things that was in the unknown because it's there for a reason. It's time, and you may need time because that's protection and it's forgiveness and that's offering and releasing. You may want to put it in some incense. You may want to smell it and bath with it. You can take time in medication and you can eat with time. Put it in your rice and peas and give yourself a little time. Because yarrow, that's herbs, it's physical and emotional wounds. That stems from past relationships, heartache, hurt and pain, guys. Family, friends, communities, where you're at, who brought you stress, who made you have to start sitting in your mind and thinking for you to even be online, to be even listening to tarot. Because you wanting balance, and that was about relationships. And that's when you have to move to that new, and you have to get new within you. And that's when you have to gain, Ross knowledge. Because you know you can be what you want to be. And when you work hard at it, you can be where you want to be. Instead of trying to dominate over people. Because people don't rule dominion over you. Remember, you rule over your thoughts. Even when you're with a partner and they're saying, I'm this and this. And they're trying to get in your business. You just see AI with their artificial information. You just tell them that non-player components out here in these streets. They come in like an NPC. You tell them that, not NA, not available. I, not available to be ramped with, yeah? Iona. can. They can see you're an icon, yeah? Remember, you're your own icon. Stand in your power, guys. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. You let them know you can be what you want to be. And when you work hard at it, you can be where you want to be, yeah? Through the power and prayer. That's your own manifestations of yourself. Manifestations of yourself. People are money. You know, you move with your own legacy, occupation, you occupy, you seen the moon to illusions. Yeah, when people are switching like a bitch, moon, lunar, lunatic. How are you going to switch? Because that's when they've got these habits of switching, because they're not being loyal, family, friends, speaking, idolizing, holding on, trying to secure who's doing what, why, where and when. Stand in that power, because that's when you're using that emotions. You're healing. It's revealing, because love is the answer. Connect to your heart. Because you know what you're occupying. When these NPCs coming around you, keep telling you these non-player components. Even NASA coming, bringing illusions, brainwashing you. Yeah, the reading the other day, NASA brainwashes you. They're trying to be able to come with that. Idolizing. Give me 2 backside more. HMG. These hogs out here trying to hog up the thing. Yeah? These non-player component hogs. Hogs. Moon. Illusions. Yeah, they're going to shit themselves when they find out the real truth about psychological aspects. Look, the psychological. Trying to brainwash people out here in these streets. Yo, guys, seek knowledge. Show yourself approved. Right? Connect to your spirit. Your spirit's inside of you. No, you don't need to go to church, because you are the God. God's within inside of you. Don't make them fool you. Don't make them fool you. You are that God. Go get that shit. Yeah? Anything you want, you get. Be creative. Manifest it. But you have to know. Let go of heartache, hurt and pain. Have compassion. Trust you got feelings. Inner stand to be able to overstand what you don't understand. That's why I tell you, do you understand? No, I don't. Tell them to explain it. Elaborate. Because people be out here lying. Non-player components. Occupying you. Your mind. Psychological. You are your antenna. Remember. You are that antenna connecting to the divine. You are that electromagnet field. You are the Taurus field. Trust your gut feelings. You are that connection. You see these illusions, because that is a part of the confusions. If you are that computer, remember, interconnected. You are that internet. If you're interconnected, you don't meet people by chance. You're not born into families by chance. You asked to be in that family. You asked that person to come into your life. Those family members and friends, they didn't look about the choices. They didn't know you was an earth angel and you was a star seed out here in these streets. You wasn't able to see these illusions. You move with love. You understand about actions when people's taking actions, and you see. Now they be watching you, admiring you. It's shocking, because they wouldn't even have that complete trust in who you was. They thought you wasn't shit. You talked a lot of shit. Meanwhile, they bragged on that, and you didn't feel. And all they wanted was dollars. You seen that Mercedes ride. You connected. You was spiritually, emotionally brand new. Cutting all old ties. You've seen those threads. When you've seen the mystical parts. The mystery is your story. That's what mystical means. Mystical aspects of my story. What's gone through for my life. That's what mystery means. Different experiences. What you perceive for your reality. Feelings, loss. It was deep, interpersonal. When people lie to you, cheat on you, grief, block you, say you can't release these emotions. That's when they tell you about the in Egypt and the Lamitin. Oh yeah, they're down at River Nile crying. Because you get a spiritual awakening. It's high clarity. That's what happens. That's what that means. Root. Connect to the root. That's ancestral lineages. Goes back. It tells you in the Bible the ancestors didn't listen. The forefathers didn't listen. They chatted and told you lies. Why don't you think your mum and all them people are like that, institutionalised with their mind? Don't you see how they're quick to vote and governmental and all that kind of stupid crap? Why? Vote for your backside self. Don't you see how you work for all these corporations, but you don't work and cooperate together? You know, if everybody worked along together and you didn't work for them governmental business and you found your own structures and you had that inner standing and had compassion and balance of one's heart. Critically thinking and analysing instead of trying to dominate over people's resources like you're some flipping police officer out here and you're a cultist, top of cultist, you know. Meanwhile, they didn't know you had strength and compassion. You had dignity. You got pride too. You knew you had power. Keep telling you, you was cool runnings out in these streets going towards your victory too. They didn't want to be able to, when you was triumphant and you was getting your rewards. Where was they? Think about those family members when you're making these achievements. So they tell you, well done. Well done, guys. You're still standing here. Yeah, I know you've been through some heartache and pain. Just release that pain. Don't remind, careful about certain people you're even talking to and telling them that. Sit on your own. Go into hermit. Bawl. Seek information. Let it go. Let it pass. Remember, there was a bitter bitch, you know. They was just being, they call it red eye. They was watching you. They was wicked. It was jealousy. Oh, they was being very vindictive. Why was it trying to control you and your thoughts and your feelings? Ask them. Because they couldn't even control themselves. Well, because they didn't have firm foundations. Oh, because they lacked compassion. Oh, because they didn't know how to be creative the way you was creative. They didn't use to have their mind. Guys, I keep telling you. Basic wisdom, basic knowledge. Seek it. Show yourself approved. Alright? Show oneself approved.